What's up, everybody? Back again with another video. In this one, I had already had this one planned. I want to talk about semen retention and if you're not getting benefits, what you can do to actually reap some of the benefits of semen retention. So I had a guy, like I said, I had this planned and I had a guy comment on one of my videos. He's kind of, pissed off and like, right? Good luck, I've been retaining for X amount of time, and I haven't really noticed any benefits, right? And I understand that there's a lot of people that have the same experience. So the main thing that you want to think about if you've been retaining and you haven't noticed a change in your life, you haven't noticed a difference, the main thing you need to focus on is your stress levels. So most people think that this is tied into testosterone, right? They think, oh, my testosterone's fucked up, I need to fix my testosterone, blah, 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 right? Testosterone was never a big deal back in the day. Ever since the levels have been dropping, people have been flipping out about testosterone, right? The levels have been dropping as a whole because of stress, right? So there's environmental stressors that are going to stress your body physically, and the biggest part of it is mental stressors, right? So I want you to think about your day, right? So last night, most likely, if you're an average person, you went to bed on your cell phone, right? You had your phone in your hand, getting blasted with blue light, which is disrupting your melatonin production, right? Your hormones, so that you can sleep better, sleep deeper, sleep longer, right? So you've already disrupted that. You, by being on your cell phone, likely social media, YouTube, Reels, something like that, you've had a constant context switch over and over and over. So you're making your brain have more thoughts per minute instead of having less thoughts per minute. More thoughts per minute equals more stress. The more that your brain flips and moves and has context switch, the more stress you're going to experience, the more cortisol you're going to release. So last night, you got blasted with blue light. You had a bunch of context switches, and then you said, oh shit, I'm going to bed, most likely, too late. And that stressed you as well. I have this and that to do tomorrow, and I'm going to bed late, right? So you went to sleep stressed out. Then you wake up in the morning to an alarm stressing you, right? We're not supposed to wake up to an alarm. We're supposed to wake up to the sun, right? Light coming in. But we live normal modern lives. So we wake up to an alarm stressing us out, that noise, right? And then you realize, oh, I have to get up and go because I have to get to work, adding to your stress levels. Maybe you sat on your phone and scrolled because you didn't want to get out of bed. Or you hit snooze because you didn't want to get out of bed. Now you're running late, adding to your stress levels. On your way out the door, you smash a cup of coffee, you drink a cup of coffee on the way to work, or you get to work and you start drinking coffee, adding to your cortisol, right? So this is only like half of your day that I've painted out here, right? And at this level, at this point, it's natural that you wouldn't experience any benefits from testosterone. It's natural that you wouldn't experience any benefits from semen retention because you have stressed any and all benefits that you could experience away, right? You've actually created a hormone basis of cortisol instead of testosterone. Cortisol and testosterone go like this. Cortisol is high, testosterone is low. So what you need to focus on, instead of trying to raise your testosterone, is lowering your cortisol. That's the first basis of getting your testosterone up. Once you get your cortisol down, then you can start to focus on trying to get your testosterone even higher, right? To really be able to outperform people. But until then, you're never going to get a long-term. You might have a day or have a half a day where you experience some benefits from retaining because you got a good testosterone surge because maybe you slept well that night or you ate some really good food. But you're always going to default back to that high cortisol because that's what you're used to. You have patterned your brain and your body to run off of cortisol. So you kind of like the stress. You kind of enjoy the stress of life. This is why you'll see people sometimes stressing about things randomly, creating extra stuff in their own mind, in their own existence that's not even there, right? They'll create problems that aren't even there. They'll come up with issues that don't even exist because they run off of cortisol and they like running off of cortisol, right? So you have to think about us as cavemen because that's what you are. You were supposed to go to sleep shortly after sunset, right? You would sit around the fire a little bit. All your food was finished before sunset. You were done eating. You would sit around the fire and relax for a little bit, and then you would go to your cave and go to sleep. So you need less light at night. You need to go to sleep in a cold room to make yourself sleep better, right? And then you would wake up with the sunrise. You would warm yourself up because it was cold, right? And you would go out and move throughout the day. You didn't have an alarm. You didn't have traffic. None of this shit. So everything in the modern world is stressing you, right? It's all this way. I wake up, I've got the window cracked in this room right now, and I can hear the traffic. And every morning when I wake up, I can hear the traffic moving. I wake up to an alarm going off. And I'm aware of this, that all of this stuff is actually stressing me just a little bit more than I should be, right? If you've ever gone camping, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you wake up to birds chirping and the sunlight coming through, you have very clear thoughts. You get clear on yourself, your life, your reality, everything. You feel more in touch with God, you feel more in tune with yourself, and your testosterone goes up because you have very low stress levels. So if you're not experiencing these benefits of semen retention, you need to look at the things in your life that are stressing you out. The modern lives we live are naturally going to create more stress than what you should be experiencing on a regular basis. So you have to develop things that are going to lower your stress, right? So instead of being on your phone at night, you should read a book. Read something. Just reading in and of itself, you'll notice after a few pages, your mind calms down and you're just zoned in on the book naturally. You don't have to think about reading and think about focusing on the book. It'll happen naturally. Reading a book before bed is good. Don't be on your phone, set it to the side, and then just go straight to sleep. You'll fall asleep faster, you'll sleep deeper, everything will be better. You'll wake up in the morning more clear-headed. Same thing in the morning. Don't get on your phone. Go meditate. That's going to be the big key for you to lower your cortisol, to lower your stress, to turn off your fight or flight mode is meditation. When you meditate, you'll become aware of all the ways that you're stuck in fight or flight all the time. And you'll realize that it's just happening and you don't want it to happen. It shouldn't happen. You're just running on stress. You're just running on cortisol all the time. It's keeping you awake. It's keeping you alert. But it's also pushing you down at the same time. Right? So through meditation, you'll naturally be able to see the ways that you're running off of fight or flight mode, and you'll be able to calm that part of your brain down that puts you in fight or flight. You'll be able to lower that down, turn the volume down on that. And naturally, when you turn that volume down on the part of your brain that gets you into fight or flight, whatever that is, when you lower the volume of that, you're naturally going to raise your testosterone. You're going to raise the volume of your brain that thinks clearly, that has clarity on life, that knows what to do, knows where to go, that follows your intuition and tells you, I should do this, I should do that, right? So an example of this is the girl I've met. We're kind of, we've gone on 3 dates. We're coming up. Next date will be the 4th one, if we even have a next date, right? She's gotten sick. We were texting. She was a little salty because she was sick. I made her mad. So, haven't texted her in 2 days, right? I don't want to talk to her because she's being a bitch. She doesn't want to talk to me because I'm not being considerate enough because she's sick, right? She thinks I'm being a dick. I think she's being a bitch. So, I'm just letting everything cool off. I want to text her because I'm over it. I don't give a fuck, right? But she does. She's a girl. So, when I meditate, I've had this clarity of don't text her. Although I want to and I'm over it, she's a girl. She's going to hold the grudge a little longer than me. And I know that I have to keep her on ice. Because the longer I go without texting her, the more she's going to regret being a bitch to me. Right? So despite me letting go of it and being over it faster than her, because that's just what I do, she's not. So it's given me that clarity to not text her, to just let her sit on ice, let her cool off, let her get better, right? She'll start feeling better. She'll stop thinking negatively of me, and then I can come back and text her. But if I wasn't meditating, I would impulsively text her back because I'm over it, right? I would lose that clarity that I have. So that was just a little caveat as to how it can help you, because things like that, like what I'm describing, like me going to work as well and kind of controlling the office environment, right? Doing those things are all going to reinforce that behavior to meditate inside of yourself, because you're going to notice more success, right? So that's going to boost your testosterone even more, because you're making the right decisions that are getting you success in life. And it's just that positive feedback loop, that reinforcement of the more I do this, the more clarity I get in life, the better decision making I have in life. When my decision making is good, when I'm not making decisions from a place of stress and emotion, and I'm making my decisions from a place of, we just call it testosterone. We're fucking men, right? When I make my decisions from a place of testosterone, from a place of masculinity and manhood, I make the correct decision every single time. Every single time I make the right decision, I know exactly what to do, and I'm not shaky in my decision making. And when you make decisions from that position, you'll find out that things work out in your favor. Whether you planned it or not, things just begin to work out in your favor. So, for you, brother, that said that, I replied to your comment and told you to watch the next video that I post. And that's this video here, right? You need to meditate. I've had several of you guys comment on my videos that you're not really experiencing any benefits. So, if you just create a daily meditation habit, I promise you'll not need to watch my videos anymore. You'll only watch my videos for entertainment purposes, not for educational stuff. There will come a point, there will come a day where you'll know what to do. You'll know how to act all on your own. People around us are way too stressed all the time. And you are way too stressed all the time as well. If you can meditate, not if, when you meditate, you will clear your mind. You will get clarity on your life, clarity on yourself, clarity on your decisions. Clarity is the biggest thing that you can get right now. Once you get that clarity, everything in your life begins to work out. Everything in your life begins to get better, right? I'm making a lot of money at work. I'm moving up at work. I stay up at the top of the office, the top 5, top 3, every single week. I've stayed up there. I'm supposed to be going to Atlanta tomorrow. After I get back from Atlanta, the next weekend, if I qualify, I'll go to Chicago, right? I'm on pace to qualify for Chicago because I'm always at the top of the leaderboard, right? So I've got all these things working in my favor, right? This girl is mad at me, and I could text her, and I'll leave for Atlanta tomorrow. I could text her today, tell her, hey, I'm leaving for Atlanta, right? I want to see you before I go. That's my first impulse. But I realized through slowing down, meditating, I realized the best thing for me to do is to text her tomorrow. Ask how she's doing. Are you feeling better? You're not sick anymore? Okay, that's great. Maybe when I get back from Atlanta, if I have time before I go to Chicago, we can go out. Right? That she's mad at me, but that's the perfect way to have her do exactly what I want, right? Because I've already gone to Philadelphia. When I got back from Philadelphia, it was late. It was like 11 p.m. And she asked me if I was back in town, and then she asked me if I was tired. She wanted to see me, right? Because she was saying some stupid shit. I wasn't texting her back because I don't want to respond to her when she's saying stupid shit to me. It's pissing me off. I'm not going to respond in that state, right? So I just leave her sitting on ice. And suddenly she wants to see me, right? But I'm too busy. I'm going to sleep because I have work tomorrow. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm going to do the same thing, kind of play the same card that, hey, I'm going to Atlanta tonight. I'm flying out tonight. I'm working right now. I'm not going to have time to see you before I go, but I'll be back sometime next week. I don't really know when yet. Maybe if I get back, I'm supposed to go to Chicago next weekend. If I get back from Atlanta and I have time between Atlanta and Chicago, maybe we can go out to dinner or something like that, right? Because the last time I took her out, it was a really nice place. It was super romantic. She was gorgeous. The music was beautiful, right? So she enjoyed that. At the end of the night, she said, thank you for everything, right? She gave me a very long hug. I still haven't kissed this girl. And she told me the next time I see her, I can kiss her, right? I can get a kiss. Oh, thank God. Thank God I can get your kiss, baby. It's all I've ever wanted, right? That's the card I play to her, right? I play that card to her because that's what she wants, right? She wants me to chase her. That's the game she's playing. And she got a little mad at me because she's sick and I was a little mean to her, right? Whatever. If you retain and meditate, it'll keep you in a place where you never get involved in female emotions. Never. If you don't do something as a man to get your aggression out or to channel your own emotions, you're going to get involved in female emotions. Even if you think that you're not involving yourself, you'll lose women because you're actually involved. If you're truly not involved, you won't lose the female. She'll stay no matter what. All right? So I've gone off on a complete tangent, but I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. I hope it's been informational and educational to y'all. If it has, hit the like button, comment what you think, subscribe to my channel, and have a great day, fellas.